Hello Worth to Read family, my name is Ashley and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's your first time watching one of my videos. Worth to Read, where we talk about books that are worth your precious time reading. Now today's video is a book review of two novels that one that I've been trying to read for at least a year, and the other one is a book that I just recently purchased on my suggested Amazon blind book haul list. So let's get right into it. The first novel that we're going to talk about is a novel that I purchased on my blind Amazon suggested book haul, and that is Slay by BrittneyMorris. Isn't the pink everything? Go for the fuchsia. If you haven't noticed, fuchsia is my favorite color, fuchsia and purple. But yes, these are both. I love this cover. She looks so beautiful. But okay, back to the book. I give this book 3.5 stars. Now, 3.5 stars in the worth to read rating level is a worth to read book. 3.5 and above are good to great books. 3 and below are a waste of your time, and I suggest you do something other than read that book. So this is a 3.5 stars. Why I did not give this book 4 stars? It took entirely too long for me to get to the plot, to get to the main event that kind of kicks off this issue in the main character's life. Maybe I was 100 pages in and then it happened, and I was just like, that is just taking too long. The author does a lot of world building and describing her life, Kira, who's the main character, and how she has to maneuver in her world. She goes to a predominantly white private school. She's one of only 3 Afro-Americans in the school, and the other 2 are her sister Steph and her boyfriend Malcolm. So that's it. They have to learn how to code switch. This is something we've talked about on my channel numerous times. Code switching is when you have to be able to change who you are, and I hate to say that, to fit the environment that you're in. To better fit the environment that you're in. And it's really not done to make yourself comfortable. It's done to make the people that you're in the environment with comfortable, which is horrible. But now that you think about it, that's why plenty of people code switch, especially Afro-Americans, to kind of make the people that we're in the room with more comfortable around us, which we shouldn't have to do, but we learn to do it at a very young age, especially when you work in corporate America or you go to a predominantly white school. I went to a predominantly white summer camp where I was literally probably one of 5 Afro-Americans, and then my high school was predominantly white. That's why I decided to go to HBCU for college. But you learn very young. I learned very young. I started summer camp when I was 3, how to code switch. And she's in this private school, and she loves her school, but she deals with being one of 3 on a daily basis. So she's constantly having to answer the black questions, and she's constantly being bombarded with topics that people think she should know about because she's black. And the funny thing is, her sister and her boyfriend are so black that they are ready for any debate, any discussion, anything about the betterment of Afro-Americans and the things that we've done and gone through. So she's kind of quiet, and they're black power, black stand, Black Lives Matter, screaming it from the rooftop. So she has to deal with that. So when she's home, she has to deal with the black power, Black Lives Matter, black everything. And when she's at school, she has to deal with, oh, you know, what do you feel about white people with dreadlocks? Like, who cares? I'm in high school. I'm trying to pass my test. I don't care about white people with dreadlocks right now. But that's her life, and that's what she has to deal with. Kira is a gamer, and she realizes that in the gaming world, and she does VR games, so the goggles and the virtual reality stuff, that there is a lot of racism in the gaming world. She was called a racial slur. The characters that they're allowed to create don't resemble them, and if they do have dark skin, they're like ogres or trolls or things that are kind of demeaning towards people of color. And she was over it, so she decided to create a game, a virtual reality game called Slay. And Slay was created to promote and foster people of color to be proud of themselves and proud of their heritage and play games, gamers. So it was created for them. Now, in her life, nobody knows that she is the creator of this worldwide phenomenon called Slay. Nobody knows that she games. Her own family, her sister, her mother, her father, they don't know she's a gamer. She literally goes in her room and locks the door and puts on all her equipment, and she can't speak into the game, so she has to type everything out. So it's harder for her to game because she's the creator of the game. So her avatar in the game is a queen, and everybody knows who she is, but she has to type out responses to everything because she can't speak it because she doesn't want her family to find out that she's a gamer. I enjoyed that. I have personally heard from my students in the past that they do encounter a lot of racism in the gaming world. People are calling them the N-word and things like that. So this was very realistic to me. I enjoyed that about the game. About the book, I'm sorry. And she hiding this whole world that she created, which was hard to watch because, you know, when you're in high school and you can develop something so amazing and then have to hide it from your family and friends, it's a conflict. An event happens. Someone is killed that is directly related to the game. And then all of a sudden, her world changes. People who really didn't think about a game or were concerned about Black people creating a game for themselves, all of a sudden started to say that this game is racist. They don't allow other races to play the game. You have to have a secret password, which was all true, but she did not build it with the intent to exclude people. She built it with the intent to make a safe place for people like her. And because of this murder, her game, her work, her life's work is now being called a gang, violent, and people are threatening to sue her for discrimination. And then her world kind of blows up, and someone very close to her betrays her. I enjoyed the second half and to the end of this book. The first half was enjoyable, but it just took too long for me to get to the point. Get to what happened. Get to the event of the boy dying and being killed because of the game. After that, I was flying through it. It was an easy read. It's not difficult to read. It's not difficult to understand. If you're not in the gaming world and you don't understand that world, it won't be difficult to decipher. It's not a lot of technical coding and verbiage that you would have to Google to find out what it is. So I appreciated that from the author. This book is definitely worth the read. If you enjoy gaming, if you enjoy books about strong young women who are doing things that people don't expect them to do, you will enjoy this book. So, with that being said, I highly suggest Slay by BrittneyMorris. The next novel that I'm going to review is Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor. Now, this is the novel that I believe, to me, reminds me of Harry Potter. And I'll get into it. I give this novel 4.5 stars. I will tell you why I don't give it 5, but I love this book. I read this book so fast. It's not really long. It's about 342 pages. I devoured this book. I'm glad I read this book. I'm glad I finally read this book, but 4.5 stars. This is definitely a worth the read. Pick it up. There's already a sequel. I've already purchased it from Amazon Prime, and I have it already because I was so amazed by this book. I just could not. I was just like, I'm gonna get the second one now so that when I'm done this, I can continue right on to the next one. Let's get into it. Now, Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor is a book about a young lady who is considered an Akata. Now, an Akata is a Nigerian term for a Black American-born person. So, she was originally born in America. She lived there until she was 9 years old, and her family moved back to Nigeria. And she speaks multiple languages. She's a teenager, 13, 14-ish age, and she discovers that she has magical powers. She is considered a leopard person, and leopard people are people who have magical abilities. And a schoolmate of hers who's a leopard person and his friend discover her abilities. Now, this book, I give it 4.5 stars because this book starts immediately. The action starts immediately. Everything, her discovering that she has powers, starts immediately. I guarantee you, maybe there was 2 chapters where we're getting background on her, and then it's like, okay, she has powers, we're going to initiate her and let's get it rolling. I love books that do that. I love books that do that. Like, I understand authors want to world build and give you background and things like that, but if it's an action book or any book, let's get right into it. Let's get into the purpose and the topic and what we're here for, the entertainment. And they do that with this book. She is albino. She's in Africa. Living in Africa and being an albino has to be hard because we all know the sun is right there, just sitting on top of Africa at all times. So she has to walk around with an umbrella, and she's made fun of in school like we normally expect people to do. And she befriends a classmate of hers, and she starts hanging out with him after school. And then he has a friend that he hangs out with on a regular basis, and they form a kind of clique, the 3 of them. And the friend has an inkling that Sunny has abilities, so she decides to just spill the beans about their world, being a leopard person. And I'm not saying the characters' names because I don't want to mess up their names. But her male friend from class is like against it. He doesn't want to open up his world. He's just like, we're a secret. This is a secret thing. Why would you just want to randomly tell this girl? And the other young lady is just like, I feel like she has abilities. And my mother feels like she has abilities. So we need to tell her. And they do. And then come to find out, she does. And she's a very powerful leopard person. And they end up running into another Akita named Sasha, who's American born. And he's sent to Nigeria as punishment because he used his abilities on a lamb, which they call people who don't have magical powers. And for his punishment, his family sent him back to Africa. And they become a foursome, a coven. And their world, the elders in their world, want them to fight a bad guy. Does that sound familiar? Their bad guy's name is the Black Hat. He's kidnapping children, lambs, children, and he's sacrificing them and using their body parts to conjure up some dark juju. And juju is what they call magic. And the elders believe for some reason these young children can fight him. Now, mind you, they have sent other covens to fight the Black Hat, and they have all died. So, in this process of them trying to prepare this coven to fight Black Hat, Sunny is kind of torn. She's new to this. her other coven mates have been studying and practicing juju their whole entire lives, and she just kind of was thrown into it. And then she doesn't know why she has these abilities. Her mother's mother is kind of a link that everybody's insinuating the reason why she has these abilities, but her mother refuses to talk about her mother, her grandmother. So she doesn't understand her legacy. And in that kind of world, it's very important to understand your legacy and where you come from and why you have these abilities. And she's considered a free agent, which is kind of has a negative connotation on the word, but she doesn't care. She wants to study, she wants to learn, she's an excellent student. So she spends the remainder of the book studying her abilities and different jujus, and then working in school in her regular life. I highly suggest anybody who loves Harry Potter or likes Harry Potter to pick up this book. It's very similar. It takes place in Africa, and what I like about it is that even though it takes place in Africa, it's not hard to read. You don't have large paragraphs of a different language that you're trying to decipher. It's not like that. So it was very enjoyable. Again, I read it very fast, and I've already purchased the second one, and I'm looking forward to reading that one as well. Why I did not give it 5 stars. The final battle at the end of the book was entirely too short for me. And that's the only reason I did not give this 5 stars. I wanted the battles to be longer. But now that I think about it, even in Harry Potter, when they finally got to the end where the battles with Voldemort and things like that, they weren't long. They were just like a battle and then it's over and we're moving on to the next. So I kind of get it, but I wanted more. It was all this anticipation for this fight with this man, and then it was just over. It's just like, okay. But again, I think authors do that so that you'll be hanging on for the next book. That's the only reason why I didn't give this book 5 stars. I wanted more of the battle. And that is my review of Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor and Sled by BrittneyMorris. I know I probably called her Morrison in this video earlier, but her name is BrittneyMorris. They're both worth the read, worthy novels. I suggest you pick them up. If you have read either one of these books, comments below, let me know how you feel about it, what you liked about it, what you did not like about it, and what you would rate it. I am currently reading, I'm sorry guys, I usually have it sitting out, but I'm currently reading Her Every Fear. This is again an adult novel. It was between this and Autumn, a horror book, and I flipped the coin like I normally do, and I landed with this. So this is what I'm currently reading, and that is all. Everybody have a great week. Hard work, have fun, work hard, play harder. That's my motto for 2020. Work hard, play harder. Period. Everybody have a great day. Many blessings from Worth the Read. Comment, rate, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. I release every video on Mondays. And again, my goal was to be more consistent with my channel, and I am doing that. So, peace out, guys. Bye.